Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is John. Today is day 40 of my 2-month Fasted-Thenics challenge. Let me start with the numbers. Today on the scale, I weighed 184 pounds even. Blood pressure was 122/72. Blood glucose, 72 milligrams per deciliter, and ketones dropped down to 4.6 millimoles per liter. I'm not sure why it dropped that far. I'm actually surprised that ketones haven't shot up further than they have. They've been kind of hovering in the five to six range, and a couple of times I think they got above 6, but for the most part they're maintaining right around in that area. I know sometimes if say I worked out later in the previous day and then I take the readings really early the next morning, sometimes that'll result in lower readings because your body has to, it takes a little bit of time to generate those ketones. So that could be it. Obviously, if I do a workout and then I take readings immediately after that, the ketones drop because you're utilizing that while you're doing the exercises. So anyway, not really sure about that. Sometimes there's a little bit of fluctuation on the strips themselves, as far as the reader. I'm only going to take one strip per day, so if there is an unusually low or high reading over time, it'll be okay. So I don't think that it's anything worth being concerned about or anything like that. I just I'm a little disappointed that it hasn't skyrocketed like last time. Last summer, I was only doing bone broth, and I wasn't doing any exercises most of the second month. I did do some exercising during the first month, and I only consumed water. So my ketone shot all the way up and pegged the meter at 8 plus several times. So I may actually, my annual physical where they're going to take some lab work is on day 60. So after that, I may decide to stop with the exercises for the remainder of that week and stop with the protein shake and the bone broth and just do a few days of water just to kind of like ramp up the last few days. But I don't know. I'm going to think about that one a little bit. But anyway, I feel great. Exercises continue to be easy. Really don't have any issues with any of the exercises. My knees were a little bit tender today on the third workout session, so I just slowed down. I just have a tendency to just kind of like want to get through it. Right now, the pace that I do those exercises, I usually end up getting all of those exercises done and back downstairs, consume the bone broth, consume the protein shake, and I'm done in about 10 to 12 minutes. So that kind of gives you an idea of how quick the exercises are going. The walks, those really are not difficult at all. I remember last year I was having, we walked outside, my wife and I, and many times I was having to ask my wife to slow down just because I just didn't have the energy in me. But this time around, today I didn't walk on the treadmill. I went and walked with her around the neighborhood, and I had no problems at all. I felt a little bit of my legs drained from energy, when I got back in the house, but that's nothing really that unusual. Last year, I would really physically feel drained, from head to toe, and need to take a break for a while. And anyway, I'm not experiencing any of that. Now, obviously, I'm consuming a lot more calories this time around. It's not a true like water fast or anything. Last summer, I fasted for 2 months. It was 61 and a half days. The first 4 weeks, just water. And then I completed that out after I received lab work around the midway point on day 25. I decided to go ahead and start consuming an electrolyte supplement and a bone broth in order to bring my electrolytes up. and that did address the electrolytes and my HSCRP number. This time around, the goal is a little bit different. I wanted to kind of mirror the time frame and do 2 months again, but I wanted to see if I could maintain muscle mass and do some consistent working out with something simple like body weight exercises. So that's what I'm doing now. I've got I'm doing push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, lunges, squats, and dips. And then I also hang from the pull-up bar for 30 seconds. So the push-ups, I'm doing 15 of those every day. Sit-ups, I'm doing 25, not every day, every workout session. So 15 push-ups per session, 25 sit-ups per session, 10 lunges, 10 squats. I'm doing 2 pull-ups. What else is there? The dips, I'm doing 10 of those, and then I'm hanging from the bar for 30 seconds. So I do that 4 times a day, and after each one of those workout sessions, I'm drinking 1 cup of bone broth, which has got about 7 grams of protein, and it's also got a little bit of obviously there's calories in it. Off the top of my head, I'm not remembering. Then there's a protein shake, and the protein shake I am mixing 4 cups worth in the morning. It's basically 2 cups of an almond coconut milk blend, which is unsweetened, 2 raw eggs, and then 2 scoops of the 0 carb protein powder. I blend that and I drink 1 cup of that after each workout session as well. So the intent is, 1, keep my body supplied with protein and some cholesterol mainly. There is some carbs in the bone broth, but not really that much in the protein shake. There's a small amount in the coconut milk, and there's a small amount in the egg, I think. As far as daily caloric intake, it's somewhere around 500 calories in a day. It ends up being somewhere between 80 and 90 grams of protein, and it ends up being about 8 to 10 grams of carbs and hardly any fat. I'll go over the numbers again. I've done that, in earlier videos in this series, but just, for those of you that are just tuning in and haven't watched any of the other videos, just to kind of give you an idea. So basically, the protein is to assist my body with those workouts to maintain muscle mass, if not put some on. And the cholesterol, the eggs, mainly the reason for that is to keep my testosterone levels up this time, whereas I saw a pretty tremendous drop in testosterone last time during the fast. So what else? I think that's about it. I do have a comment. Earlier in the week, I take body measurements once a week. Caliper measurements on my chest, my abs, upper thigh, and sacroiliac. And then I also take tape measurements, neck, shoulders, chest, waist. I do belt line in my hips and my right thigh, my right calf, and then both biceps and both forearms. And I've noticed, looking at that, it's difficult with the midsection, my abs and stuff, because I am doing sit-ups. Those numbers are a little bit larger than usual, and I think, you could look at it one way, and I'm not losing as fast as last time, but you could also look at it the other way, that I'm actually at least maintaining muscle underneath the fat that's still there, and that's kind of keeping those numbers a little bit larger. But it's pretty obvious to me looking at the chest measurements. I'm about 2 inches larger in the chest this time compared to last time at the same week. And then my arms, both my biceps and my forearms, are both larger compared to the same time last fast. So I thought that was interesting. So I suspect that I'm maintaining more muscle. I am going to get over to, I think I've got to drive over to Raleigh to get a, what do you call it? It's a body weight scan. They scan your body and give you kind of a skeletal diagram and kind of identify where some of the fat is and give you a body composition reading. And I'm hoping to use that as kind of a baseline for anything that I do going forward. I wish I had done it last year, before, during, and after that fast. I didn't do one before the start of this one. I was almost, I almost decided not to do this fast. I was going to start, obviously, on the first day of the year, to make things easier. At least the first month, the day number of the month and the day of the fast would kind of correlate. But it doesn't really matter. And after a couple of days, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it rather than put it off. So anyway, I do appreciate you watching. I know these kind of videos are a little bit on the boring side, but the real purpose of this series, this Fasted-Thenics series, is going to be 65 videos. And basically, it's just a daily log for my progress over these 2 months so that I can kind of talk a little bit about how I'm feeling, maybe sometimes occasionally ramble on about some information having to do, related to it. But mainly, capture the numbers. You'll see the way I look in the face as far as how the weight's coming off. And after this series is over, after I get back from our vacation trip in March, I'll be looking to make some more, some better designed videos, which are going to have some graphics in them, showing some graphs and diagrams of my progress, some of the information, the metrics that I was keeping over these 2 months. So I hope you will give me a shot, subscribe, give me a like. It's a new channel. Subscriptions are free. Basically, they're just gonna, occasionally suggest one of my videos to you. So just check in on me, see how things are going. Just keep in mind, day 64 is gonna be the final day. I'm probably going to live stream that from Hawaii. So that'll be good. It'd be nice if I actually have an audience for that. But right now, I can understand occasionally people are taking a look at the videos, but they're moving on. Again, it's just a daily log for right now. So bear with me, and we'll get to the end of this, and we'll talk more about some of the more interesting information. But again, thanks for watching. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave those below. And if you've got a suggestion for the food that I'm going to break the fast on day 64 in Hawaii, I'd appreciate some of those suggestions as well. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.